Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. From Fox News. You'll love this one. Black Republican Virginia delegate says Black Caucus rejected him. State Delegate A.C. Cardoza called rejection by Black Caucus a spit in the face. Yeah. Now, I'm going to say up front, I'm not a big fan of these caucuses in government, i.e. in Congress. The Asian caucus, the Black caucus. You go through all the different ones. I think it's discriminatory and racist. It separates people. The only one I might go along with, we'll say in the U.S. Congress, or even in this case, the House of Delegates in Virginia, which is a Commonwealth, by the way, is maybe a women's caucus, but I'm not really a big fan of that either. Do women have unique viewpoints based because of their gender? Yeah, and that's going to make all the trans people go, oh my God. Too bad. Men and women are different. We're a lot more similar than we're different, but we're still different, and we see things differently, and we calculate things differently, but we're just as intelligent either way. That being said, I think this is ridiculous. This goes back, I'll tell you the truth, to the new Jim Crow Democrats. And you say, well, John, how could black people be Jim Crow? No, they've just twisted it around to race, and very close second or attached to it is ideology. He's not black because he doesn't think like them. And that by definition is racist if you think all people of a certain color or race think the same. That's racism. Black Republican in Virginia General Assembly said he was barred from joining the Assembly's Black Caucus. It really did offend me, Virginia Delegate John Cardoza told Fox News in an exclusive interview. It was a spit in the face. This says to me, I'm not black enough to be in the Black Caucus, and that's an insult. He's exactly right. I'm not black enough. It looks black enough to me. Oh, his ideology isn't black enough because all blacks have the same ideology, and that by definition is racism. Well, no blacks allowed here. The funny what black is by liberal criteria is frankly wrong and disgusting. He continued, I agree. Cardoza said he wanted to join the Black Caucus to be a conservative voice in a group that is normally very liberal. Yeah, they want diversity. No, actually they don't. They do not want diversity of thought. That scares the hell out of them. If their opinions and what they believe in is so fragile and their defending of it is so ridiculous that it'll convert people over to a conservative side, then they don't have issues. You can sit down and defend them with facts and logic. They can't. So rather than go back and forth with somebody that's conservative, we'll just make you invisible, just like canceling. Only representative of all African-American, not just liberal ones, he told Fox News. Well, I don't like that statement that much because I'm sure there's a lot of white people in his district, but I see his point. When considering his request, Cardoza was asked to fill out a questionnaire about his legislative priority. Makes sense. The last question asked if he opposed any items listed in the Black Caucus 2022 legislative agenda. Cardoza listed 32 items. Well, in all fairness, good for him. Good for him. And here's some of it here if you want to scroll through it. I put the 3 pages. I'll do it again. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. And, it's funny. Those must be the membership questionnaire. Protect abortion coverage and health exchange, which makes it impossible for more Virginians to afford a full range of reproductive health care. Abortion is not reproductive rights. I know this is a little off topic from the article. There's a difference between pro-choice and pro-abortion. I have zero issue with people like Planned Parenthood and other organizations that want to show women, if they do not want to conceive, how not to do that and be sexually active. I have zero problem with that. But I do have a problem with once you conceive, you have an abortion. That's not reproductive rights. The right to not get pregnant is not the same as the right to having an abortion. Well, enough of my grandstanding. I thought you want to know why I didn't agree with it, Cardoza told Fox News. I think we should all agree on everything, but I thought they would let me in so they would want to hear my voice. Of course not. Cardoza told Fox News to consider making his own caucus. I might be a caucus of one, he said, but it will be a caucus with new members come what's going to welcome all African Americans regardless of their views. I still don't like a black caucus, but I see his point. Because what they want the African voices to be heard, not just one singular voice rejecting all other black voices. They want a full picture to was to be an African American. Whether we agree or disagree, Cardozo said, we need to come together. This is who we are. And this is a real shocker. The Virginia Legislative Black Caucus did not have a comment at this time. Yeah. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Like I said, I don't like caucuses based on race. Now, say in Virginia, well, we'll say the Midwest is probably a better example. Say I'm part of the state legislature in the state of Nebraska, we'll say. And my family have been in farming for 4 or 5 generations. And I'm elected to their state legislature. And I form a farmers coalition / caucus in the legislature. I have zero issue with that. It's a common, we'll say, a way to make a living, a common profession, i.e. if there were individuals in the U.S. House of Representatives that wanted to form a veterans that have seen action caucus. In other words, you're a vet, but these vets have seen actual combat and were under live fire. Or just veterans in general. I don't have an issue with that because it's very inclusive to all veterans. This black caucus is only inclusive to the black people that think like them. That's evil. But by profession or my personal experience, I'd even go with caucuses that were women in Congress that have children. You know, as crazy as that may sound, at least they have all something in common, no matter what race you are. But that's part of the point. The Democrats are freaking out. That's why they're letting so many millions and millions of people enter this country unlawfully. They're seeing their base. Their base has always been number 1 base, black voters. Number 2 base, Hispanics. And that's the weird part. Hispanics are incredibly diverse. I mean, you take we'll say somebody from the country in Mexico as an immigrant and somebody that was in Cuba, they have totally opposite, most of them, the opposite different views on government and life. The Hispanic community is just as diverse as the white community and any other community. Diversity of thought, diversity of ideas. That should tell you Biden voters right now, when the party that you vote for is closed-minded to diversity of ideas and diversity of thought, rethink your position concerning Democrats. It's that simple. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.